everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Magnificence, a D&D actual play podcast where we all have a really fun time and have a hard time trying to catch this little tiefling kid trying to run away from us. I am your Dungeon Master G. As always, I am joined today by the lovely players surrounding me. Everyone say hello.
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 Hi.
Hi. Yeah, they're there somewhere. I let them out
Hello.
of their cages sometimes.
But I like my cage. It's nice and safe.
Yeah, it's nice and safe. Yeah, you guys are safer with me. It's fine. The outside world's a scary place, everyone. And we're going to learn that especially today in today's session as we further investigate this strange assassination attempt that was made at the very beginning of our story. Before we jump into it, as always, a big thank you to Sarson Games for writing the Oracle Zavagra sourcebook, which again, we will be using throughout this campaign in the form of homebrew subclasses and the Pantheon of Gods. Please go check them out and all their content. And with that, let's jump right into the action. Last session, we started at the end of our hero's rest after a strange attack, with everyone sort of growing restless and questioning what to do next. But Caradwin heard something. A note. Long notes. A whistle that carries on the wind and into her thoughts every time. And she knew who was waiting for her. Going to speak with a higher up within this Assassin's Guild, Atash Sereth, a hulking, terrifying-looking black dragonborn who spoke calmly, quietly, firmly about the actions that must next be taken, pointing Caradwin and all of their newfound party members in the direction of one Ozit, a young tiefling boy, about 14 years of age, who was not an apprentice with the Reavers, but helped the two apprentices that perpetrated the attack. Having no other leads at this time, Caradwin returned to report back to the party with Olwen on her tail. She knew he followed, but allowed them to. Writing down the contents of the conversation within their notebook, Olwen looked up to see the terrifyingly intimidating Dragonborn man just watching, giving a quick size up of Olwen before turning and disappearing into the alleyway. Returning back to the cellar safe house, plans were made, discussions were had, and it was decided to go to the western docks to try to find Ozit, the tiefling boy who assisted in this attack. Coming upon the docks, there is life and chaos and noise and evidence of someone moving quickly about the area. Through various investigations and checks, the party was able to quickly determine that Ozit moved through the docks, found little help, and returned back to a small shack that he seemed to reside in, with Suda in particular noticing that there was a strong presence of secret agents of the Empire within the crowd, also trying to find the culprit behind these attacks. The party intervened with Ozit's escape plan, bursting through his doors and windows and ceiling, scaring the hell out of the poor kid as he tried to run away, but Olwen quickly intervening with Alina and Suda's help as well. He was de-escalated. Kuvos casting a fog cloud to cover their escape, with Olwen shortly behind, with Druidcraft to cover their tracks. Ozit now, somewhat calmed, on your side, and the lot of you all retreating back to another safe house that Carrie knows of. So far, the city hasn't swallowed you up quite yet, but for some of you, it's only the first day, and the day is still young, so we're going to see what happens next. It's an easy enough venture to make your way through from the docks, through the couple of streets between, to the next safe place that Caradwin knows of. Upon arriving, it's 3 or 4 stories up. It's not necessarily a put-together apartment. It's more so just a small room with open walls and windows. Not really much in the way of furniture or supplies. It's truly just almost 4 walls and a roof that provide you a way to stay out of prying eyes. So you all arrive here with Ozit in your stead. Finally, out of danger for now. So, now that you guys have the next source of information within your grasp, what is everyone doing?
I'm going through his bag. I want to see if he has any of this poison that was used, or ideally antitoxin.
Yeah.
But he told me that was important. He said not important to you, and I'm like, I will be the judge of that.
Yeah.
I'll
You guys
give
all
you
get
the
there
bag.
and you're immediately dumping out the bag.
Suda pulls the kid in, finds the nearest chair, kind of tosses him into it, kneels down in front. So, you now know that you are in grave danger because of what you are involved in.
Yeah.
You're going to tell us everything.
I mean, what's the point, really? I either do that or I just get thrown out. Fuck. Okay.
There are plenty of worse places you could be right now.
Yeah, I
And
know.
This
It
is
look-
by far the friendliest.
Yeah.
So, if you want to continue to be under our protection, you're going to come clean about what your involvement in the funeral attack was and who your handler was.
Okay, Oh, come on, you don't have to do that. Looking to you, Sage and Alina, as you, mostly Sage, as Alina hands off the bag, and Sage, you, with not really a lot of care or tact, just dump it out and begin searching through.
I'm definitely, like, I'm not dumping it with the height that would shatter glass, but definitely, like, laying it on the floor and kind of just shuffling everything out of it, pawing through it. I very much do. And I go back to it.
It's what you find, a few books, not like journals, just like works of literature. You see what looks like to be a small, slightly rusted and pretty old, what looks to be like a music box. There's like 2 regular daggers, a small coin purse with a few copper and a silver in it. It's his personal belongings. These are the things he deemed important enough to put in a bag and take with him as he was trying to ditch town, is essentially what you find.
I know you said that this wasn't going to be important to us, and I was like, I'll be the judge of that. This is really not important to us. Where did you get the candles, the poison, whatever? Did you make them yourself?
No, look, listen.
I'm listening.
My friends, we've been running around in these streets for a long time, and they said that they wanted something else other than what we had, and I told them not to go to the Reavers, but they said that it was fine, that they would be fine. Treya...
Some friends leaving you to get hunted down by the guards. Were they the ones to get the candles? Do you know where they went?
Wait, what about going to the Reavers? When did they go to the Reavers? Was this before or after?
Treya and Vanek, they have always been really, really ambitious to a fault. And like a couple months ago, they had this idea to join up with the Reavers and become like these elite assassins and like be set for life. And I told them that it doesn't matter. Point is, they got involved with bad people and they came to me like a week ago and said that they were gonna go prove themselves. They were given...
So wait. So they went to the Reavers and the Reavers gave them this job, and I am like turning to Carrie.
Yeah, they went and joined up with the Reavers, and they've been spending months doing odd jobs and stuff to try to prove themselves, and the Reavers finally gave them their first, like, official job a week ago, and told them that if they succeeded in the job, that they would officially be part of it. But then they told them that they had to off the fucking Sovereign. We're like, they're good with poisons and stuff, kind of, but not to that level. I told them that it was a bad idea, but they said it would be fine. They wouldn't even come close to them, and that everything would be okay. They just said they needed my help for one more thing, and I agreed.
Well, it is good that the Reavers are so bad at their jobs.
What did you help them with?
They just needed help carrying things and, to and from and handing stuff out. And I told them I didn't want to, but it seemed harmless. I didn't know what they were planning.
This is very important. To and from where?
They have a place. It used to belong to their folks over in Rottooth Row. It's when their folks died, they kind of stayed there hidden. They didn't want to go to one of the orphanages, so they live there. They operate out of there. It's like an old warehouse. I can show it to you if you want. I don't know where they are.
Do you know where they source their poisons?
No. They've always like made their own, but they've been okay. I mean, they've been pretty good, but not to like expert level.
Do you know if they made the ones in the candle?
I don't know how. Whatever, they wouldn't let me see their workshop like they normally do. We're friends, all three of us. And they've never hidden things like this from me before. I don't know what they have in there, but it's whatever it is contributed to this whole poison bullshit. And I don't know, I'm just scared for them. I'm scared for me. I don't know what to do.
Well, they certainly got you wrapped up in something sinister.
Yeah.
Do you know if... I know you said they wouldn't let you see anything. Did they talk about it at all? Did they say anything, give any details about any contingencies, any backups, any safety precautions they may have taken? Or...
All I really know is it's something they found recently. I think before they got the offer to prove themselves from the Reavers. And when they got the offer, they sort of connected two and two, going like, this thing we found, we can use it to become assassins. That's really all I heard. They were really weirdly secretive about it. They've never been that way before. I don't know what they're hiding from me, but they've never hidden things like this from me before.
Oh, I'm now wondering who among us is hiding other things. Like, I'm staring pointedly at Carrie. So your people are responsible for this?
In a way, it would not surprise me. The true test of the Reavers is not how willing you are to kill, but how aware you are when a task is impossible. Foolish children.
They were...
So innocents get slaughtered or have their lives highly impacted simply to teach people a lesson, or teach your members a lesson about being able to withdraw?
One has to wonder if they were the ones who came up with this plan. If they had this thing that they wanted to use, that part didn't come from the Reavers. I think possibly the crowd being caught up in it was because of the stupid children and not because of the Reavers.
There is rarely so much collateral damage as I saw.
DM?
Yeah.
Now that we know that there was like another item that was being used in this, does that trigger any memories for me from my studies or something I've potentially heard of that might have an effect kind of like this?
I'll say, even without having to roll, it's vague enough that nothing specific really comes to mind. It
Fair.
makes you think, if there is anything, you'd have to know more about it to see if there is anything in your research.
Got it. Thank you.
Ozit, amongst this conversation, is like looking between like the adults, like really distressed about it, and like stops on, finally lands on you, Carrie. Wait, so it wasn't even meant to work. They were just what, sending them to fuck everything up?
I couldn't speak to the motivations of my superiors, but it would not surprise me if the true goal was whatever your little friends got themselves into in the first place before they ever ran to the Reavers.
I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. What do I? What the hell do you expect me to do now?
I think if no one else steps in, Kuvos is going to step up at that point and just say, look, I understand you're stressed, and this is a very hard situation that you've been caught in. Sort of, even though it's not your fault. Let's get you set up to rest for now. This was very helpful. And we'll figure out where you can go where you'll be safe after.
No. So safe. Even if I get out of Seer's Morning, even if I get out of Valensun, it's all the fucking Empire. Where else is there to go?
Olwen is as like he says that, and like Kuvos offers him like, hey, you can like rest. Owen's going to like help the kid up from the chair, and he's going to say, here, come on. You should go get some rest over here. And sort of like in a way to have a conversation with this kid away from like the others.
Yeah, he's slouched over, defeated, sad, just hands rubbing over his face. Just truly the weight of his words are very true. Where can he go? He can run to the very far reaches of the Empire, but it's still the Empire. And he follows with you, Olwen, to kind of take a breather with all of this information given to everyone.
Olwen is going to like sit down with like the kids as like he's trying to get him settled, and he's going to say, you know, you are right. No matter where you go now, you're just going to find the Empire. Life's hard. I'm sure it was hard to say anything to the only people that you probably cared about when they just wanted a better life. And you weren't given the opportunity to earn that right and just. I have a question for you, kid. Look at me.
He raises his head and looks at you. Bloodshot eyes. Tired.
Do you want to live?
I don't want to be just another person that this fucking city kills.
So you do.
I don't have anything to fall back on. I got no family, I got no skills, I got no money.
That's true. I can't do anything about the money part. Skills, family. I've found those are things that you can find, you can earn. So look at me and tell me, do you want to live?
Yeah.
Owen is going to crouch down and look at this kid and say, we're going to do our best. Well, I can't speak for the others. I'm going to do my best to try and get you and your friends out of the city. No more of this. There's a lot that hands can do that do more for the world than just causing more pain and suffering. How far is it to the next city over, next town? Anywhere.
If if I go south, I could get to Beggar's Hole. From there, there's roads that lead out. I could go west. I could try to get lost somewhere in the spires. Nicodosia is on the western coast. I could get there.
As like this kid is like writing this down, Owen's going to take like a piece of paper from his notebook, and he's going to begin writing a letter to Bonnie Wimmond.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to say, Bonnie, I want to call in a favor. Tell me how many jobs it's going to be worth. There are going to be 3 kids, a tiefling, 2 half-elves. They don't have any skills. They're young, but they're desperate. Teach them anything. Anything so that they can try and earn a living and hide them. I'm asking a lot. I'm asking a lot of you in the Crafters Division. I know this isn't something that you do. But it won't be for long. A few months, maybe. I'll try and figure something out to get them off your hands. Until then, hold on to them. Just tell me how much this is going to be worth when you can get hold of me. I'm going to fold that up, hand it to this child, and I'm going to say, when you get somewhere safe, anywhere you think is just moderately safe, get this to someone from the Crafters Division. You know who they are?
Yeah, they're like the overland travel people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna try and get that better life that your friends were talking about, but this time you're gonna earn it fair and square. And I know that that's wholly unfair. The Empire doesn't give a shit what you can do. It's going to try its best to stomp a boot in your neck and snuff the life out of you, whether that's metaphorically or in real life. But you're gonna have to try. And when you do, I'm gonna try and look for you again. And I'll see if I can get you to a place where you might be able to earn that new life. I know that you say there's nowhere that's away from the Empire. But I might know one place that the Empire is never going to get to.
What's that? The sovereign before this one, that bullshit he would always say. All there ever is, all there ever was, and all there ever will be is the Empire.
The world's a lot bigger than the Empire, and they don't want to know that. And the thing about the world is, all of it wants to live.
Yeah.
And so do we. So we're gonna live, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna claw. And we're gonna find that place in the world. You understand me?
Yeah, fuck these guys.
Good kid.
Yeah.
I hand him the letter. I let him off to rest. And I'll try and back away and hope that the party did not notice that I was talking to this kid for that long.
A really intense conversation is had. Ozit does take the letter, and he stays within the corner that he's sitting in, kind of peering out some of like the makeshift windows and just kind of looking at the city around him. He's not unique in his struggle. Most of the youth that reside in this city are in his same shoes. At the very least, this one kid may have a better chance than the rest. And that's about all you can do. With the conversation being had, new information has spread to the rest of your party. You have a better idea on where to go. You know the names, Tara and Vanek. These half-elven siblings, it sounds like, over in Rottooth Row. So you have a better idea. And from what it sounds like, these were indeed the poisoners. The source of the poison, however, unknown. So, with that in mind, what is everyone doing?
Sorry, what were the names again?
Tayra, Tayra, and Vanek, Vannik.
I have a question for Carrie, and I think Sage, in that way she does, is not going to pad it. As Olwen kind of slinks off to the corner with this kid, I am going to look dead Carrie in the eye. Did the Reavers have to do with the first two sovereigns that recently passed?
Couldn't tell you.
Can't blame the kids for not thinking it's impossible, considering.
It's not. And despite what you all may think of me, I have a certain degree of sympathy for these little ones. They are not so different from what I once was.
They still haven't failed. They either give up and agree it's impossible, which is clearly untrue, because somebody killed the last two people who held the Imperial throne, and not even recently enough that the bodies have been buried, and it's clearly possible. They're stupid, but they're desperate, and they had no reason to think this was an impossible task. For all they knew, some kids just like them did the last two as well.
I'd be very interested to know where two mediocre street kid poisoners got a hold of this. Sort of gesturing at a candle that I'm sure one of us still has.
Well, that's what we need to find out, especially if we're going to get rid of the effects that it's having on all of us.
My head is still pounding. It hurts.
No need to remind me. And Kuvos is kind of rubbing at his temple at this point.
Can I do a quick medicine check just to kind of check their check, are there any of them developing a fever? How is this kind of progressing?
I'm so glad you asked. Let me flip to a page real quick with some mechanics written down on it.
Would you like me to roll the check?
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead.
G says, I'm so glad you asked, and we all tremble.
The Pavlovian response.
Just got a little nauseous.
That's a 17.
17. Taking a look at Caradwin, Alina, and Kuvos, you see nothing physical yet. Their eyes are maybe a bit bloodshot. Asking, inquiring themselves. You guys are all still feeling that really sharp headache. It's almost to the point where it's debilitating. It's a real rough day that you're having so far, especially with this head pain now. And it's getting to the point where it makes it almost hard to think. As you focus on this, question: wisdom or intelligence for each of you? Which one's higher?
Kuvos is definitely higher intelligence.
Kuvos is intelligence.
My wisdom is just slightly higher.
Same, my wisdom slightly higher.
Each of you make a saving throw, whichever is higher.
This is Rosie. I'm so sorry. This happened. I did not. I wanted information.
This was gonna happen whether or not you medicine checked, which is why I said I'm glad you asked.
I reminded the GM.
Okay, Kuvos?
17 plus 5 for 22.
22, Caradwin?
19 plus 2 for 21.
21. And Alina?
15 plus 1 for 16.
For 16. Kuvos, mind over matter. Your brain is honestly your greatest weapon, as slightly nerdy as it is to say. This is your bread and fucking butter. You focus, you sharpen your mind. The pain is still there, but you brush it off best you can. And you feel a shiver go through your body as something that was trying to dig deeper in fails against your focus. Caradwin, yours was 21. A similar feeling happens. The pain is clouding. It threatens to fog your vision almost. You focus. Something that was trying to dig deeper, you force it away. You are calm. Your mind is yours. You know what's going on. You know what's happening. Why do you hear waves? Alina, your head hurts so badly. You have to physically stop and like lean against something or sit down for a moment and like take a breath, and you blink and your vision's a little blurry and it slowly fades, but it's still a little hard to think. What's your current wisdom score?
Current wisdom is 13.
13. You have a -1 to your wisdom until this poison is purged.
Got it.
So until a cure is found, your wisdom is considered to be 12.
Got it.
Can I, with that 17, kind of tell that she's not like responding? I'm like snapping my fingers, like checking the reflexes, seeing little slower to respond, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little slow. You definitely notice she's still aware. She's still herself. Everything is still fine. There's no damage. It's just hard.
I can
to
tell it's
think.
having mental effects, is what I was hoping to find out there. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
nothing physical thus far. It's just mental. It's just hard to think.
And Sage, as you like try and snap and get her focused, she kind of pulls back, and it's kind of wounded animal, not sure she trusts people around her in this moment kind of thing. Like, she doesn't lash out, but it's definitely like not necessarily comfortable with the closeness of that in this moment.
I was about to ask, do you know who the current sovereign is, to kind of see if you're all there, but
I will say, in addition to that medicine check, after all these saves are succeeded and failed, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm rolling for, but the D4 I rolled was only 1, unfortunately. Sage, there's nothing else happening yet. It's not done. And it's going to move a little faster now. If there was ever a time to go find a cure, it would be fucking now.
that's all we can get out of this kid. You just Rot Tooth Row? Really? I've heard some bad names.
He said he'd take us there.
I've heard some bad names. That one's pretty close to the top of the list. Can we go? I hate to say, you were told you'd have time to rest, but we actually do need to we need you to show the way.
Ozit kind of snaps to attention and straightens up. Yeah.
I don't think we need to put him through any more danger. You can tell us exactly where it is.
It's fine. I'm just going to walk you there, and then I'm going to walk away. He looks at you, Caradwin. Do I need to find somewhere else, or can I stay here?
You can stay here, but I wouldn't stay long. I can't guarantee this will remain empty, given the activity.
Is this a Reaver spot?
Yes.
You got anything to use, Ozzy? If things do go bad?
There were some daggers in his bag.
Yeah, he takes the daggers from his bag, sets them to his belt securely, puts his bag on, tightens it so it will not fall off, puts his hood up, puts a mask on over his face, just kind of like prepares himself for the journey ahead. I'll find somewhere. I think it might be worse if I stay here and a Reaver walks in. I think I might be well and truly fucked.
Kuvos, you got 3 more of those berries I gave you?
And he nods and takes the berries out.
Owen will take 3 of them. How much does that leave you with if I take the 3?
You gave me 10 last time, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I ate 4 of them, so I had 6 left. So that'll leave me with 3.
Okay. Olin will take the 3, go over to Ozit and say, "These are only gonna last for until sometime tomorrow. If anything bad happens, you're injured, you feel like you might lose consciousness, eat one of them. Understand?"
He puts them in a little pouch on his belt. He's gathered himself. The talk you had with him seemed to have strengthened his resolve a bit. And also just the fact that this is the norm for kids like him. It's if he stays in his despair for too long, it's going to swallow him whole. So he has to set his mind to it and keep going forward if he wants to get out of the hole he's in. And that's kind of what he's realized. So he's squared his shoulders, still very, very visibly scared of what's to come, but is facing it nonetheless. And motions you all to follow. Unless there's anything else that needs to be done here, I can take you there now.
The faster we move, the better.
Okay. Okay. He exits, and you all follow. Rottooth Row is the slum of the slums. It is very, very self-explanatory. The bad place to be in an already bad place. Ozit leads you carefully. He's covered, and he takes many shortcuts. Caradwin, you recognize this. It's almost nostalgic. Those of you who aren't native to Seer's Morning, you lose track of where you are almost instantly. Just the various shortcuts he's taking. Some of them require you to climb over scaffolding and little ladders. Some of them require you to go under someone's houses. And there's various alleyways and little shortcuts and things like this. Alina, you've lived in this area? Not down here. You're really starting to get why it has the nickname of the Rat's Maze. It's really making sense to you in this moment. But it's almost charming in a way. How easily it is navigated. How much the people here have adapted. Very quickly taking you through, leading you towards Rottooth Row. This section of the city is where they just kind of stuffed people that didn't really have anywhere else to go or nobody wanted to see during times of any great sickness. This is where they stuff all the sick people to not get anyone else. There's so many people stuffed into this one small section of the lower city that they can no longer build out, so they've started to build up. They call it Rottooth Row because of how much on the skyline it resembles jagged, broken, rotted teeth. It is hastily built upwards for stories and stories of buildings with very questionable integrity. There's little rope swings and ladders and bridges, makeshift bridges strung between all of these super tall makeshift buildings. You see children very young, 5-6 years old, swinging across them like 12 stories up with no fear. This is just their life up here. They're running around. People kind of try to stay off the ground just because all the mud and muck and mire that's gathered in the streets. So people mostly stick to the air. It has its own beauty, despite all of the shit in the streets. But Ozit leads you through, eventually coming upon a small warehouse type building. It has a sign hanging off of it that has long since faded. What looks to be, maybe it was once a shop that was converted into some sort of warehouse where people also lived. It's an old building that many people have occupied. At this point in the day, it's getting into, y'all started late morning, it's getting into late afternoon, early evening. So, and based on time of year it is, the days don't last long. So it's already pretty dark. Days are only a couple hours when it gets colder. So by the time y'all are getting here, it's already pretty dark, which for those of you with your splitting headaches is a bit of a mercy. Getting to this small warehouse, there are no lights within, and it is silent. People scrabble over the roof or run through the alleyways, but nobody enters it. Nobody tries to. Nobody comes out. Ozit takes you to it, standing about a block or so away, just pointing it out to you, not really wanting to get closer himself. And before turning to the rest of you, they're not bad people, I want you to understand. They just didn't have anywhere else to go, like a lot of us. So just, I don't know what
Is there anything you
gonna
can
try. I don't know what they're
give
gonna
us,
do, but if you
or
can help it,
I don't
let 'em
know,
live.
a phrase that you use with them that will tell them that you say we're okay?
Not really any passphrases. Oh, here. Since I won't be coming back, he fishes for a necklace that's hanging like beneath his shirt and takes it from a leather cord. It's a small, like kind of rusted key, and he hands it to you, Alina. The front door. They live on the second floor. The first floor is really just storage and such. And there's no basement, not one that I know of, at least. They should be in there. I don't know where else they'd go. They don't know anyone else. They don't have connections. So, unless they've somehow managed to get out of town already, which I doubt.
As she takes it, she kind of takes his hand and says, "Thank you."
Olwen's gonna move towards Suda and say, I think we should try and not blast open the window this time.
I mean, it makes things less fun, but if you're sure.
Hey, if the guards come here, we'll have plenty of fun.
Don't worry. I will not go off this time.
On that note, are there, like, back at the docks, there were guards swarming and all of that, and very clearly people there who didn't belong. Are we seeing any of that here? Not that I'm potentially going to notice that, but
It's hard to be anti-empire within this city because it's the center of everything. This is the most anti-empire portion of the city, and it's after dark. They're not really trying to get themselves shanked in any back alleys right now. If there are, they're probably staying very well hidden, but you recognizing the patterns of the guards that are essentially like Secret Service, you don't see anyone following those patterns. They are either searching elsewhere or they're avoiding this place entirely to, again, not get shanked in an alley.
My only priority is getting the antitoxin and getting it out to the people who were affected by that smoke. Not just the three of you, but everybody else too, if at all possible. I don't care what happens to these kids. I hate to say that, but either way, all I care about is we need to get that antitoxin. They were stupid. What happens, happens. Let's go.
Maybe we don't say that in front of the child.
You were also stupid, kid, but you were a little less.
I will crouch down in front of Ozit. Getting on eye level. You were stupid. There is no easy way out. And I will slip a gold piece into his pocket.
He just nods. I recognize that, dumb decisions were made, but... And kind of glances over at Sage as he says this. I don't think stupidity is a crime for which the punishment should be death.
Absolutely not, but you did also commit crimes because you were being stupid.
Sure. Good luck.
Same to you.
And he nods to all of you, gives Olwen a bit more of a lasting look, and turns and quickly disappears into the city, his fate now entirely in his hands.
Do not let me see your face again.
You are all left with the key to this warehouse and the knowledge that the perpetrators and ideally the cure lies inside. So how are you guys entering?
do we want to plan, or shall we just go in again?
That didn't work out last time, so let's actually talk about it.
Agreed.
It actually worked out.
It did kind of work out, actually.
Yeah, you got the kid.
It worked because we got a smoke screen and we managed to escape without being seen.
Well, it did, but also,
It worked because we got lucky.
yeah,
You're right, though. I would prefer a plan.
exactly. So I propose that 2 of us grab the kids. And Elena, you were able to talk down Ozzy. Could you do it again with these 2?
I can
Just
try.
let them know that we're not gonna try and, that other people are going to hurt them and we're here to do the opposite.
I can certainly try.
Suda, you good to help me grab these 2 brats?
I'm right there with you.
We can.
Kuvos, you help me find wherever while they're being grabbed and talked to. The faster we can get you guys the antitoxin, it won't matter as long as we get that.
Before we go in, someone should check that there aren't other exits.
Owen will go ahead and try and do that.
All right, yeah. Doing a quick circle around. You do see it is just the one door. There are little like bridges and stuff that connect to the roof, but you don't see from the ground level at least, you don't see like an obvious way to get to the roof from the inside, so you have to assume entrances are a lot more limited than what it was at the docks.
Owen is, after like circling around and telling the party that there doesn't seem to be another way they can get out, is going to turn to Carrie this time and say, "All right, well, I suppose on your signal."
In we go.
All right. Elena goes up to the door, glances at the group, then sticks the key in,
I throw.
turns it, and opens the door.
Fireball.
Assuming that it can.
Well,
gonna say-
shit. Great campaign.
No, I throw in the opposite of flashbang.
Good
I
job,
just
guys,
throw
you
in
did
an orb
it.
of
That's the end of
darkness,
the
and we're
campaign.
We
good.
won Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, you won. Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah. But yes, you go in, you turn the key, it unlocks without issue. These are not sophisticated criminals. They don't have any intricate trap set up. So all they have is a deadbolt. So you unlock the door and it swings open. It creaks a little loudly, which kind of makes you cringe for a minute, but opens no problem. Walking in, it is a dark, empty bottom floor with various crates and barrels, thick cobwebs hanging about, just dust and age. This bottom space maybe is not used very often. Where are you guys headed?
Carrie will go into immediate stealth mode.
Owen's gonna see if there are any signs that show where these kids are.
Yeah. Who is Caradwin the only one stealthing?
I don't have dark vision. It's the thing. And so I think Sage is absolutely has like some sort of rock. Again, she just picked up a random rock off the side of the road and has cast light on that. So I don't think it's possible for her to stealth.
I would actually do something similar, although I do have dark vision, but as the one who opened the door, so the one that they probably know is there, I'm actually going to like take a little small something and cast light on it as well. Once we're inside.
Okay.
And kind of give everyone else who wants to hide and sneak in a chance to do it so they don't know how many of us there are.
Okay.
But then kind of quietly call out, "Hello?"
Okay. So I'll handle it this way. So you two, Sage and Alina, cast light, and Alina hesitantly calling out. Prior to that, Caradwin, what's your stealth?
17.
17. You slip against the wall, blend into the shadows. Anyone else rolling stealth, or is it just Caradwin?
Can I be stealthed while I like look for the
Yeah.
kids, or is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to be hidden, feel free to roll stealth.
Oof. Damn, I'll pick that up later. That is 13.
13. Okay. You blend in the shadows the best of your ability. And unless anyone else has anything that they're doing, Alina quietly calls out, "Hello?" Probing out into the darkness. You all hear creaking above you as the sound of what you would have to guess is someone growing still. A little bit of dust falls from the ceiling right next to you. There is weight on the floorboards above you. There is no answer. There's but silence. But there is someone upstairs. Are you guys going up immediately? Are you looking around? Are you listening?
I want to take a second to look around before we go up. Not like loudly investigate, but just like,
Yeah.
Is there anything here?
Yeah, just give me investigation.
Absolutely.
While she's rolling that, did we get a chance to look and see if there are any other exits specifically from the second floor?
You are on the ground floor currently. There's stairs. You don't see stairs, but you have to guess you're in what is essentially a sort of L-shaped building. So from you've entered, you see it turns off to the left, and there's like an alcove. You don't see what's beyond it. You haven't gone that deep into the building yet.
I'm doing a quick scan for anywhere that it looks like there might be some sort of brewing, poison making, pharmaceutical equipment. I'm specifically, that is my only intention here. So,
Yeah. Alina, what was yours?
I rolled a 19 on my investigation.
19. Okay. Taking a quick look around, there's just like random, like there's some old tools, some rope in some of these crates scattered about. There's like a barrel that has some kind of rotten food in it. It's just the leftover of someone evacuating the space. Essentially, it's not very well kept or maintained. This is not the living space in the building, you have to guess. Sage, would you roll?
11.
11. Nothing of the sort catches your eye now.
I'm going to find the nearest staircase that heads up there and calmly and openly walk up them because we don't want to spook them, but they obviously know we're
I am following Suda sneaky.
Stealthing.
I'm assuming you're all kind of moving towards the staircase with Suda leading the charge, calmly walking up. Okay. You all take a few moments to investigate this lower area before quietly moving onto the stairs. As you walk forward and turn the left, you see it is a sort of alcove area with stairs leading up to the second floor. Nothing else of interest in this small area. Suda, you place your foot on the bottom step and begin to put weight on it, and you hear a bang and a scrabbling sound, almost like, but it's loud. It's something heavy, and it's coming from upstairs. And upon hearing that, you pause with your foot still on the first step as you hear two voices speaking in panicked, hushed whispers. What was that? What was that? Keep it down. Keep it down. I don't know. Look, just tighten the chain around it. It's okay. Just keep it still. Keep it still. And that is what you hear as you begin to ascend.
I was going to say, who was it that called out earlier, Sage or Alina? Alina. I was just going to collect to them again. They need more reassurances.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Osset sent us.
But regardless, I'm still going to be making my way up to where we know they are.
Yeah.
Moving slowly up the stairs as the voices
Olwen
call
will
out.
follow Suda so that they're not by themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm assuming all of you are going up the stairs. Suda's leading the charge, and Caradwin and Olwen stealthed. You're all quietly, slowly going up the stairs, unsure of what's waiting for you up there. You hear the scrabbling again, accompanied by a much louder bang, and what sounds like the clanking of like heavy metal chains. And the bang being much louder, much more aggressive. You hear a young girl's voice, ah! In a bit of shock, and then go, don't come upstairs. Well, I'm not going to set it loose. What do you want me? I don't know what else to do. What if they're here? They're gonna be here to kill us.
It's okay. It's okay. We just want... We'll stay here. And I gesture to the folks who aren't hiding to, like, stop for a second.
Caradwin, Olwen, and Suda, are you all continuing up the stairs?
Yes. And I am drawing a weapon as I do so.
Yeah, same. Reforming my...
Okay.
shadow weapon.
Suda, yeah.
Olwen will stop, but he'll hold an action to
Okay.
run in if something happens.
Suda, you're the first one to reach the top of the stairs. You're still in that same alcove, so you kind of have to go around the top of the stairs to turn the corner and look to the right where these voices and sounds are coming from. And you see gentle orange firelights from what you have to guess is some lanterns coming from around the corner. And you walk carefully and deliberately and slowly around the corner. And you begin to peek around, and you see a couple things. 2 half-elven children, both about 15, 16 years old. The girl being the younger one, with sort of mid-length blonde hair, wearing dirty clothing. Her older brother, kind of sandy blonde hair that's shaggy and definitely needs a haircut. Both standing there, kind of arguing with each other in hushed, scared whispers. They are silhouetted by lantern lights. The second thing you notice is the blood on the floor that stains the hardwood. And the third and most obvious thing that catches you by surprise. The size of a full-grown man. Hunched over, grotesque. Pulling at heavy chains that barely keep it contained to the ground, something with matted black fur covered in gore and blood, what looks to be a giant mutated rodent. It oozes from several wounds. Not from anything that seemed to be inflicted to it, but from the things that grow out of it. Clusters of deep blood-red crystals gathered at the joints that have burst forth from the flesh and are growing outwards, reaching out, trying to escape from this gruesome creature's body. It gathers around its neck, around its legs, around its body, and it seems to hurt it. Oh, it definitely hurts it. There is a giant metal casing around its head. The only thing that leads you to believe that it's some sort of rodent is the tail, the shape of its body. What looks like a makeshift metal helmet with only one hole in it for one of its beady eyes to look through. Seems to have been almost fused, almost melted to its own head. Spikes sticking out of the side of it as it swings its head around wildly, threatening to bash and destroy anything that gets in its way. It is a curious, gruesome, horrifying thing that you are looking at, and these 2 children have it chained up like any common household pet, and it does not like that. The bangs you heard were it pulling against the chains over and over, bashing its spiked skull up against the chains, the floor, the wall, trying to break free. It is angry, it is agitated, its one beady eye poking out of the metal casing around its head, looking frantically at the 2, and now looking at you, the third one to join. But its eye remains on you. The 2 elven children turn towards you, shocked. And they both kind of hold up their hands, not moving to run nor to attack, just looking scared and unsure of the situation. And the older brother takes a half step forward, taking charge in this conversation that's about to happen. We just want to leave. We just want to leave. We just want to leave.
Suda needs to maintain composure. Because the fact that this deals with siblings, apparently. Not exactly twins, but yeah. And their subsequent terror, the feeling of being trapped, all of this is hitting Suda like an invisible force. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna like self-imposed wisdom save here.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm into it.
What do we got? Can't even see it. 13. Well, wait, 13? No. Yes, 13. I don't even know what I was rolling again, so I haven't figured out.
I think I'll give you this as the DM. I think with a 13, you're good at keeping yourself calm and focused. It's the combination of the familiar situation, but the grotesque monster in front of you is really throwing you off. There's something about it that, well, visibly, yes, it's very clear there's something about this creature that is not right. It is vile, it is wretched. It stirs something within you deep, and it feels wrong. It feels bad. It feels hungry. It pulls and rages up against these chains that hold it down, coming out of its metal encasing head. As one of the chains break, there are 3 that hold it. As it pulls against it with all of its strength, it does successfully break one. Those of you still on the stairs hear it. Those of you still hiding turn the corner, peeking your heads around, still trying to remain hidden, and you see this. You are all hearing this continue to escalate. The siblings turn around and jump back as it breaks a chain, backing up towards Suda, afraid of this thing.
Okay, that was in part what I was going to ask, but also, is this just like a room? Is it like 4 walls, or are they along a banister?
It's just like a normal room. You kind of turn the corner, and then it's just like a kind of just a long-ish room. It's definitely their living quarters. You see evidence of them living up here, but they cleared the way for the end where this rat creature is.
Okay. In that case, what everybody else will see is Suda almost looks like she gets sleepy, like almost nodding off. Like eyes flutter very briefly, and head dips, and then she gonna kind of leap in and shove the kids back into the group, putting herself between the creature and the kids.
You put yourself between it. It rages again, throwing its head around wildly, and a second chain breaks as it yanks up from the floor. It is angry, and the presence of even more people, it wants out. It wants out now. And you definitely see, no check required for this because it's very obviously out in the open. There are supplies scattered about for alchemy, for creation of poisons. Yep.
I think we found the source of it, but that's not what Suda is currently focused on.
Are the rest of you on the stairs? Those of you hiding, what are you guys doing? You are all hearing this commotion.
Yeah.
I think the commotion.
As soon as we hear that much noise, I would certainly head up.
Yeah, if the kids are pushed in our direction and we see them being pushed out of the room, I'm going to look.
Yeah, so I'm assuming all of you kind of continue coming up and observe. Those of you in stealth, are you remaining in stealth?
Yeah, I think I would have stayed sneaky, like behind Suda. Certainly more martially inclined, but having, still like sort of staying in the shadows and the corners. sort of poking my head around or rounding the corner to see this, I would love to do some kind of like insight check as to like what the hell the rat monster and
Yeah,
the
the
children
rat
and like
monster?
how are they in like what the fuck? I would love to do an insight check.
Give me.
Yeah, you can give me a
Would
what
also
the
love
fuck-
to do that when I take in the scene.
Anyone who wants, give me a what the fuck
Yeah.
check.
Give a what the fuck check. That's perfect.
exactly.
23.
Yeah, give me a what the fuck check.
Damn.
23.
I only got a
It's
12.
Forever, instead of an insight check,
12.
it's a what the fuck check.
21.
Yeah.
That's a 6, so that's a really big fucking rat, isn't it?
That checks out for Olwen, honestly.
rat.
That
Yeah,
checks
always
out.
go like, that's a big fucking rat.
Cities. Damn it.
That's a big damn rat. Yeah.
I did make a check for Kuvos, who would probably be closer to the bottom of the stairs anyway, just to stay out of the way of everyone trying to get up there. So I don't know that he would necessarily see the rat, but I'm going to apply my insight check to the kids because that's a nat 20 again for a 20 plus 4, 24.
Okay. I'll just give this out and about. Anyone who's above an 18, which I believe is Caradwin, Alina, and Kuvos. So those three of you above an 18, what you notice is a very tense situation that's escalating quickly. So you notice these things in rapid succession. The children are afraid, they're unsure. They're over their heads. Whatever they're doing, they're in over their heads. This is not something they have control of anymore. This creature is angry. It is not on anyone's side. It is a creature of madness, a creature of hunger, and it is getting out. A third chain breaks. There's one holding it to the ground now as it continues to thrash around wildly. This thing, it is strong. It is going to get out of the chains. The children have retreated.
I'm engaging.
What is everyone doing?
Yep.
Yeah, just gonna straight up attack. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everyone, please roll initiative.
Oh
I want
my
to yell to the kids. I want to yell to the kids like the antidote. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm immediately not. I'm not in fight mode. I'm in.
No, yeah.
Why the fuck did you not keep your area organized? This is cross contamination central. What? No,
Yeah.
mostly just like trying to see which of these messes of alchemy tools is where I'm looking. Also, I got a 12 initiative.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
I
Above
honestly
20
forgot.
for anyone.
No, not over 20.
So,
Okay.
Suda, in fairness, is the most in the thick of it. Makes sense that you would forget to roll.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
honestly. Wonderful. So, no one above 20. 15 to 20.
17.
19.
Okay.
Yay, 19.
So who got that 19?
Carrie and Olin, I think.
Okay, 15 to 10.
14.
14 for Suda,
12 for Sage.
12 for Sage,
10 for Kuvos.
10 for Kuvos. Kids aren't going to be in this initiative because they've retreated and they're children. Heading into initiative, the creature in front of you, a 23 in initiative, is going to make one final check against these chains that hold it. And with a final sickening squeal and crunch of metal, the final chain holding it back breaks free. You see this creature immediately takes the opportunity to move forward some. It moves forward about 10, 15, about 15 feet. So it is about halfway across the room for most of you. It stops, seeing the amount of people now there, and is kind of crouched down and snarling and just inside of its metal encasing. It is a literally a cornered animal. And it is going to immediately, as it focuses on these creatures surrounding it, you see it hunkers down, and the crystals growing out of its flesh glow a bit brighter. And you see, out of the matted fur and wounds, a sort of fog gas begins to pour out of its own mutated form. And it begins to fill the room, the area around it, as a cloud of a very familiar poisonous material begins to enshroud the area around it. It releases this gas cloud and basically surrounds itself, and it reaches both walls on the left and right of it, so you can't get past it essentially without going through this cloud of like poisonous gas essentially. And that's going to be the end of its turn, followed immediately by Caradwin.
I have a question to clarify something. So seeing this cloud, Caradwin would recognize the vibes of what's
Seeing
happening.
This cloud, you recognize it as maybe not the exact poison that was infected at the funeral. This is definitely the source.
In that case, and I'm still stealthed, at least for now.
Yeah.
So would I have advantage attacking
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
stealth? Caradwin is going to stop breathing and make an attack, moving into melee range. So yes, they will close the distance, the 10, 15-ish feet distance. Yes, and make an attack.
Yeah, absolutely. You quickly run up from the shadows and through the cloud with ease.
So a 21 to hit.
21 absolutely hits.
Excellent. So I will be doing my sword damage and my sneak attack damage. 13 points of damage.
Wonderful, yeah.
And then... Yes, and then my offhand, I will do a dagger swipe. For 4 points of damage.
Wonderful. Yeah, as you beat on it, its flesh is a horrifying mix of like disturbingly soft and squishy, and like it gives easily from rot, but you keep hitting these points of the rock hard crystal and the bone, and just it is, if you were to cut this thing open, its insides would be all over the place. This is definitely not a normal creature.
And I will stay within melee. I don't need to worry about the
Okay, wonderful.
poison.
Olwen, you're up next.
Olwen is going to break stealth and rush downwards. As he's pulling something from his pack, he pulls out a handful of what appear to be dandelion seeds. And he's going to move 20 feet down to be in line with Carrie here. He's going to pop the dandelion seeds in his mouth. You're going to hear like a crunch as he bites into them. Yeah, he's going to put both of his hands together as he blows a gust forward. I'm going to cast Gust as a
There
frigid
you
cold
go.
wind covered in like frozen dandelion pollen as begins to like blow the cloud away.
Very wise decision from Olwen right off the bat. You cast this, and it does do as it should. It disperses this poison cloud very quickly.
And that's the end of my turn after that.
Okay, great. All right, so Olwen coming in clutch, immediately getting rid of this poisonous cloud. Alina, you're up next.
Cool. Do I see that there are some kind of crates behind me? Is that right? Am I reading that right?
Yes, they're kind of scattered all around, so there's definitely some surrounding you, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump back behind the crate, so just moving a little bit back. And then I'm just going to I'm going to duck down, and my head is still pounding, but I'm going to start murmuring something and whispering something and murmuring. It's almost a tune, but it's not. But no one can hear it except for him, and I'm casting Discordant Whispers. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Beating a 14.
Out of 13 with no bonuses. it
Nice.
fails.
All right. Love it. All right. So he gets 3d6 of psychic damage. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points of psychic damage, and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far away as
Okay.
its speed allows
Is this-
away from me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because this is Dissonant Whispers, correct? Is this the frightened condition?
No, it is not the frightened condition.
Wonderful, it moves.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do get an attack of opportunity.
Love it. And then,
I'm pretty sure that's gonna miss. 14?
Yeah.
and then as a reaction, because I've seen him take psychic damage, which I caused, I'm going to try and use Chorus of the Deep. Heads pounding. I just want this to stop. This is not where I want to be right now. This is not good. This just needs to stop. And so I reach out with something inside of me and try to entangle this creature. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw, again, 14.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And then I need a wisdom save from you as well.
Understood.
It fails.
All right, so it is now charmed by me. Under the charm condition. And my whiz saving throw, we'll use that one. Come on, baby, don't fail me now. 18.
Wonderful. I believe that does pass. I don't think your DC is that high. Yeah, your DC is pretty low. Yep. So you cast this, and you feel amidst your headache, you feel coldness enter your head as you cast this. And despite your weakened state, you just bat it away. This is not your focus right now. Now is not the time. All right. So remind me your Chorus of the Deep. Homebrew subclass brought to you by Sourcing Games. So it's
awesome.
Chorus of the Deep. Remind us what that does.
So, Chorus of the Deep. As a reaction, when a creature you see takes psychic damage or force damage, you can expend a use of Chorus of the Deep to try and charm them with a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC. If they fail, they are under the charmed condition until the end of their next turn.
Alrighty. Wonderful. Okay, so it effectively ensures your safety in this situation because there's no social situation happening.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, amazing. Is that all from you?
If I get a free call out, I might call out it's charmed, or no, I don't even know what that is yet. I just know I reached out. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, wonderful. Suda, you're up next.
Now we have the kids are safe behind us now.
Yeah, they've retreated. They're like on the stairs.
I am going to witch bolt this motherfucker. This crackling black energy flits up her arm as her gaze locks onto the creature, and there is just this pain and anger that wrinkles her face just before she unleashes her attack. This better help because oh, awesome. 21.
21 definitely hits.
Let's see, 21. So 2d12 points of damage. That is 15.
Sage, you are up next.
Okay, immediately. I am not built for fighting, but I am built for snooping. Kind of. I would love to see which of these random piles of disorganized shit tier equipment has something that we can use to I'm not interested in. I'm interested in getting my shit and getting out of here right now. Fuck this.
You see ahead of you, this creature is retreated far into the back thanks to Alina's spell that was a success. You see about 10 feet forward and like 20 feet over to the left, so like a 30-foot diagonal, there is a like workshop set up, like a makeshift workshop. Olwen is standing like right next to it. It seems that's where they have done most of their work for these poisons. There are several vials still sitting there. You see candles sitting around, very similar to the ones that were handed out. You've definitely found the source, and that is the workbench where it all happens.
I am going to go, is there anything I need to roll, and what kind of action economy do I need to use to scoop as much of that shit as possible into my bag?
If you want to just toss a couple in there, easy enough to just do. If you want to take your time to like specifically grab things, then it will be like an object interaction essentially.
Okay.
But if you're just running by, scooping stuff in and continuing to go, then you can just do so.
Because I want to be careful. I don't want to grab anything I don't want to like break things. That's my main concern. I'm okay with like grabbing it all and going through it later. I don't care. If there's more poison candles here, doesn't hurt me to take those and just have them in my bag as far as I know.
Yeah.
Right now. So I guess I'm just scooping with an object interaction. Is that?
Yeah. If you want to spend your action, like, actually like carefully choosing, you go through as all this fighting erupts, you run over to this workbench. You see there are several vials. They all look pretty similar. None of them are really labeled. You see there is like a concentrate of a big bottle of like the essential oil type stuff that was used to coat the candle wicks. That is its like final form. You have to guess that is the actual poison. There are several smaller vials. That's what you grab. Since they are separated from the actual poison, that's where you're placing your hope. So you grab a bunch of those. You get about a dozen.
Okay, cool. And that took my full action then.
Yes. Taking the time to go in there, choose the correct things, grab them carefully.
Okay, unfortunately, I do not have any bonus actions right now. So I think I am also going to like the little wizard I am, gonna duck behind that station, trying to get a little bit of cover here next to my pal Alina. What's up, girl? And end my turn.
All right, Kuvos, you're up next.
Okay, so Kuvos is also wanting to end this quickly, not wanting to waste time. He's not trying to move too far just to keep an eye on the kids and make sure they don't disappear, but he's gonna take a couple steps forward towards these crates. And since no one's up in melee, this gives me the perfect opportunity to cast Ice Knife. So you'll watch as, again, taking from the water skin on his belt, water comes out, but this time he uses almost like temperature manipulation a little bit, like breathes a breath of cold air and it forms into a solid shard of ice. He then takes that, aims it, and throws it at the rat creature. So for Ice Knife, I make a ranged spell attack against the target. 14 plus 5, 19.
That definitely hits.
Perfect. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save or take 2d6 cold damage.
Yeah, I think its dex definitely succeeds.
Okay, cool. So then it won't take that extra damage, but it does take 7 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Or piercing damage for that initial hit.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Kuvos, you throw this spell. You see it hits deep into its strangely congealed flesh. It has taken several hits from your party thus far. While they have definitely been hitting, they have definitely been doing damage, you see it still stands pretty strong. This creature, from what you can tell, will not go down very easily. That being said, we come back to the top of the round as it begins its turn and charges forward towards Suda and Carradwin, using its full movement to get back within range of them. Suda, you see this thing charge directly in front of you, stand up on its hind legs as it towers over you, the smell of rot all consuming, and it swings its head down towards you as it begins to bash its spiked metal skull. So I think a 21 hits. So you are going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as it bashes you with this encased metal skull. as it swings wildly about with reckless abandon. That is its only attack, so it hits pretty hard, but then it sort of withdraws a bit, it hissing and spitting and growling and breathing heavily, preparing itself for more attacks against it. And as it lands this attack, Caradwin, standing right next to it, the stench of undeath is strong. And again, visually, this creature is wrong. There's something wrong about it. Just, there's something deep within you that seems to be reacting to it. And it is recoiling away from it. Something way beyond surface level is very, very wrong here. Though what, you cannot say. With that, we are going to end our episode for today as we enter the height of this gruesome battle against this strange creature found in the Rot-Tooth Row. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today. I hope you had a fun time, a session of an intense conversation and strange creatures. We will see you all next time as we continue and hopefully conclude this battle against this wicked undead rodent and its strange metal skull and flesh crystals that grow from its body.
It's so fucked up.
It's super fucked up. Will they find a cure? Will they find out who's behind it? And where the hell did this thing come from? Everyone, please roll a what the fuck roll. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.